Hello, beautiful awakeners. Welcome to your Awakener download for the month of January. We've made it. Very exciting. And what better topic to talk about for this entire month than manifesting? But I don't want to just talk about law of attraction. I want to go deep with this. So, this video is going to be how manifestation works in the 5D quantum world. And then the creator download is going to be quantum timeline hopping and becoming the master of your reality. I'm just reading from my notes. And then the creator how to is how to manipulate the material world around you, which is great. So we're going to get into all of these things at just like deeper and deeper levels. So to start off with, let's talk about quantum manifestation and where the world is at right now in regards to manifestation. So this has been really ramping up. I noticed it a couple of years ago, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but recently in the past 2 to 3 years, it's been more amplified, more apparent, more kind of in our face than ever before. And there's a really big distinction to make. And the distinction is 3D manifesting versus 5D manifesting. And here's how I would define that. So 3D manifesting, this is all just my own language here. 3D manifesting is manifesting whatever you want, whether that be an emotion, a partner, an energy, a physical object, manifesting through utilizing physical tools. That's what I would describe, define, consider 3D manifesting. 5D manifesting, I would describe and define as manifesting whatever you want, even physical things, utilizing quantum energies. And quantum's just a fancy word for energy, really. Just small, simultaneous bits of consciousness. We'll just call it energy. Instead of needing to create a bulletin board, a cork board, a manifestation board, what is it called? A vision board? There we go. Instead of needing to create a vision board, instead of needing to put sticky notes into what you want, instead of what are the other physical tools for manifesting? Instead of buying yourself an abundance crystal or stone, you don't need any of that. As a matter of fact, the more that you think you need those things to get you to the end destination, the more you're relying on the physical reality to manifest something that always starts in the non-physical reality. The reason why things like The Secret and the Law of Attraction really worked in the past is because humans needed a structure for how to create the reality they needed. And all of those things still do work, absolutely without a doubt. They're like a cocoon or a container for us in so many ways. But once again, the question is, do we really still need that cocoon? If you want to manifest faster, then you want to really focus on the energetic realms, the non-physical realms, to help you manifest. That being said, you have to have a pretty good level of awareness. If you have a very hard time, I don't even want to say meditating. Here we go. If you have a hard time focusing or concentrating, and it's funny, I laugh because, I mean, here we are in 2023, freaking everyone and their mother has a hard time focusing because we're just so overstimulated, all the time. But that's all you need, You just need to be able to focus on something. And I would say you need to be able to catch your own thoughts. Maybe not all the time because it's a lot of work, but most of the time. Okay, so like I said, you're going from crystals and vision boards and writing stuff down and affirmations and all of that physical stuff So how does quantum manifesting work in the fifth dimension? Once again, we are still manifesting physical things through a different method. And as the vibration increases on the planet, this other method, this more quantum or energetic based method, is becoming more and more significant, more and more prevalent, more and more accessible. I'm losing a word here. It's like more valuable. Like I don't having issues with words. It's more important to focus on the energy rather than the physical these days, because we are moving into more of an energy-focused reality rather than a physical one. And so this is going to be an amplified bridge for you rather than just a vision board. It's almost like when I think about a vision board, it feels very hollow. Like at a feeling-based or energy-based level, it feels like, wah-wah. It's like printing out pictures and posting them up. It's not enough anymore. And also, we're using a tool that's outside of ourselves to get what we want, which is also, once again, it's no longer important. We no longer need that as a crutch. Now, we are at a day and age where this quantum method is going to be more and more prominent, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. Like, at this point in time in 2023, we are kind of really ahead of the game, all right, with manifesting when talking about this. So if you want to do a little bit of the 3D manifesting, a little bit of the 5D manifesting, it's totally up to you. You can do both, no problem. Feel into it as everything. But I want you to just try this 5D method. So here it is. It's really quite simple. Like I said, it requires no material whatsoever other than your focus and your awareness. That's it. So I want you to imagine a tissue paper. I want you to actually imagine a whole stack of tissue papers, just white, transparent-ish tissue papers. And then I want you to imagine a pen or a marker, some sort of writing device, and you draw out, also imagine that you're a really good artist, you draw out what you want. Maybe it's a beautiful house, or a family, or a baby, or a new car, or a thriving business, right? Whatever that may look like. It could be, you could draw a square and associate that square with a thriving business. You could also just write down, if you're bad with imagery, okay? You could write down thriving business. So here's the thing. This is how thoughts work. You have a moment in your week and you're like, I want a thriving business for the new year. That's what I want. Fantastic. What you've done by having that thought, by having the awareness to ask for what you want, and then having the subsequent thought of what it is that you want, you are writing down what you want on that tissue paper. But it hasn't solidified yet. Okay. The next day, you're like, oh yeah, it was so cool yesterday how I made the realization that what I really desire, what I really want is a thriving business. What are you doing? You're writing down thriving business again on another piece of tissue paper. And now you go one tissue paper stacked on the other tissue paper, and it's creating more of a solid base. And you do this again and again and again and again. And that two-dimensional written statement on a very thin, transparent piece of tissue paper stacks on stacks on stacks on top of each other to eventually create a three-dimensional, even four-dimensional shape. I imagine a lot of tissue paper stacked on top of each other. And all of a sudden, you're bringing it into fruition. You're creating it as a dense object. You're putting it from here into your physical reality. And this is exactly the concept of The Secret or the Law of Attraction or a vision board. It really is the same concept. But instead of relying on the vision board to get you to what you want, we need to realize that it's just the matter of you looking at the vision board, thinking about what you want, repeating that thought over and over again to eventually create it and manifest it into your reality. That's it. So cut out the middleman, cut out the 3D tool, and just cut straight to thinking about it, manifesting it. And that's it. That's literally 5D quantum manifestation. It's as simple as that. So what I do, I'll tell you what I do. And actually, we have this a part of the membership. So I implore you to check this out if you haven't already. I think it's under the Explore tab, and it's called Manifestation Journal. So I showed my wife, Nat, my manifestation journal, and I have like actually a little, what is it? Like a folder, like a presentation folder. And I have these clear pieces of white paper. And whatever it is, like one of the manifestations that I made in the last 6 months, like paper, you get a white piece of paper, and then I put 30 to 35, I think, or did I put 30 to 40? Anyway, basically I just turned 30. I guess not just anymore, but I turned 30 and I wanted to really put out what my manifestation was for my next decade. So I wrote down all my things in all different colors, and that resonated with me. And for me, right, I know I just told you, don't write anything down, don't use 3D tools. But we're still at this place where if you feel like that's what you need, then work on it. The real focus is the intention and the vibration. So instead of just writing things down saying, this is what I want for the next 10 years, every item that I wrote down, whether it be an emotion, a vibration, a physical thing, an experience, some sort of job that I want, I don't know, some speaking gig or something, books to put out, whatever it may be, right? Part of it was physical, part of it was emotional or vibrational. I would write it down, and then I would sit with that one thing and visualize it and feel it and actually put myself into the experience of being there. So it's almost like instead of just writing down what you want on a tissue paper in your mind, you're drawing a picture. And not only are you drawing a picture, but you're adding an emotional connection to the picture that you're drawing. So you're already creating these extra dimensions within the manifestation of what it is that you're asking for. It's almost like by taking that moment to write it down, to picture it, to visualize it, to really even have the awareness to ask for what I want, and then to be in the experience in 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line, looking back saying, wow, I did that. And that was incredible, you know? It's almost like putting 10 tissue papers together in one go, right? It's like tissue papers on steroids kind of thing in your mind. And then every once in a while, on a full moon, new moon, whatever, I'll go through my manifestation binder and I'll take a look at what I've written down and what I've created and those kind of things. So back to the membership platform. If you go to the Cosmic Society, you click on the Explore page. It should be right at the bottom, and it's called Manifestation Journal. You may not know what that is. But when I showed Nat what I had, which was basically just a very rudimentary table of things, it says, what do I want? When do I want it? And why? And like the other thing is like vibe. What's the vibe? Why do you want it? What's the vibe? So what do I want? I want a really successful 2023 year. Okay, but what does successful mean? Yeah, you got to get deeper than that. Successful to me is I want to feel balanced. I want to feel free in all of the ways, and I want to feel abundant in all of the ways for 2023. That's what I want. When do I want it? 2023. That's what I just want it for the whole year. Why? Why do I want to feel successful, balanced, abundant, and free? I want to feel that way so that I can be in a place in my own life, both personally, professionally, and spiritually, where I am expanded enough, I'm fulfilled enough to give back. I need this equation of things in order for me to be the best individual I could be in all of the ways, but then also to be so abundant and so overflowing that I get to give back without ever having to ask for anything in return. That's why I want to be at that place. So in the manifestation journal, you'll see, once again, a really rudimentary chart of what do you want, when do you want it, and why. And a lot of the time in my when column, I'm trying to think. I think we actually have a calendar that pops up, but a lot of the time my intention is in divine timing. Just in divine timing, whatever that may be, right? Or I just give myself a really big window, like the whole year of 2023. So definitely check out the manifestation journal if you haven't already. And like I said, all quantum manifestation is having the awareness, focusing on what it is that you want, and then reiterating that focus. One more thing that I want to mention about manifestation is, negative thoughts. We have to talk about this. And so I still have negative thoughts. Like I'm not free and clear of I'm not on a fucking cloud over here, even though this shirt makes me feel like I'm on a cloud. So, I'm trying to think of a good negative thought. Okay. All right, here we go. This is like so silly and rudimentary and human, but I'm going to do it because most of our negative thoughts are silly and rudimentary and human. So if I tell Nat, hey babe, can you load the dishwasher? I just did, cook dinner. Can you load the dishwasher? Yeah, no problem. She never has a problem with it. And then I have an immediate fear of, is she going to load it correctly? Because I'm telling you, I don't know if you have a partner like this, but she literally loads cups and bowls right side up. Not all of them. I don't know. I don't know why some of them just... And then I'm like taking out the clean dishes from the dishwasher with a bowl full of water. Anyway, I can't. I literally just can't. So my negative thought would be a control-oriented thought of like, this is how I work in this way is, you know what, babe? Don't worry about loading the dishwasher. I'll just do it when I have time. So I do it right. You know what I mean? Which I'm learning to let go and trust. And obviously I have the awareness around those control thoughts. So here is what I'm asking you to do. When a negative thought comes up, it could be like, maybe you have an anxiety around driving and you're like, oh my God, I have to drive to the bus station tomorrow and I'm so worried about it. And am I going to make it on time or am I going to, whatever the negative thought is. First of all, be aware of your negative thoughts. If you're not aware of your negative thoughts, then I can't help you. Then it's just like this whole conversation ends here. You have to bring awareness to your thoughts, but especially your negative thoughts. What I tend to find is it's way easier to bring my awareness to negative thoughts than it is just to like random neutral thoughts. Neutral thoughts are like, yeah, take it or leave it. You know what I mean? The thought is there. Or maybe not. It doesn't matter. It's just like random shit that your mind mulls on that has nothing to do with anything. And it probably does. I just can't bother to be aware of it. But the negative thoughts are much louder, is what I find. It's actually way easier for me to be aware of those negative thoughts. I think probably because most of my thoughts are either neutral or positive. What happens these days when I'm aware of a negative thought of like a worry or a fear or a control mechanism is I will then change my negative thought to something that's really positive. It's actually really the exact opposite of what I was just thinking. So if my fear is around the dishwasher and not loading it correctly, which is so silly, instead of being like, oh, don't worry, I'll do it tomorrow when I have time, I will, or instead of being like, make sure you load it correctly and have the, OCD control thing, instead, I'll catch myself, take full responsibility around what I'm thinking, and I will remind myself or change the thought to, instead of, oh no, she's going to do it wrong, I know that Babe has the capacity to load the dishwasher perfectly. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not like, it doesn't, all the cups and things, but at least so everything gets clean, right? Not bowls on top of bowls kind of thing. So, yeah, and that's it. That's really it. So the other thing about manifestation is catching your thoughts, especially the negative ones, and pulling them into something that's positive, transmuting them in the moment. And what you're going to find is eventually those negative thoughts are always going to be transmuted into positive thoughts because you're catching yourself consistently. Okay, I think that's it for the Awakener download. I'll leave you with that. Bring awareness to what it is that you want. Focus on it. Feel into it. Experience yourself with that thing already. And do that more often. And then when a negative thought, a control thought, a fear thought comes up, transmute it into a higher vibrational thought. All right. See how that works for you, and this is the time to really manifest your next year. So what is it that you want, Starseed? Comment below. And thanks for being here, as always. Bye for now.